Hey guys, we're back. This time we're taking a look at a 3D printed insert for the Captain is Dead lockdown. And this one is to keep everything situated in there. There's a lot of weird cards and things, and I think this one works. I think I have a better design one that I may be printing in the future, which is why once you see, this one's not completely finished. But we'll get in here and take a look. You can see my rulebook's tipping. And I'll show you why in a second on this one, but we have our board and our rule book on top here. And there's why. You can see there's a huge gap in here. And what this is meant to have, or this big gap is, and all the stuff in plastic bags, which shouldn't be there, are bins like we had in the original Captain is Dead. So we have our original Captain is Dead. If you haven't seen the video I did on that, open this up, pull out the board and the rule book. And you can see we even had extra room in here because I didn't print out all of the bins. They actually had it so you could print this size bin 3 across, or these larger bins 2 across. And I got enough for everything within there, and I didn't see the point in printing out an extra 2 of the big bins or whatnot, or 3 small ones. So I just, the plan I think was to put this here, yeah, and do 2 more small ones there. But I didn't need it, so I didn't use it. But these same bins are meant to be used in here to fill in the rest of this space. This piece goes here to make those match. I'm sure I'm missing something. I think there's a spacer on the one end. But yeah, these bins were meant to go, I think, this way. Yeah, there we go. Like that across. And there's a spacer that went here, and it's perfectly functional, and it works for that. But I decided to go with a design from a different designer. I decided to go with a design from a different designer and didn't finish this one. And it is nothing against the designer of this insert and what's missing here, so it looks kind of weird. But they chose to do these card trays with these slightly leaning cards, which is kind of an interesting aesthetic choice. And it's perfectly functional for the basic cards. The problem I ran into is that I have not yet found cards sleeves that fit the smaller cards in this game properly. They're just a hair tall, and you can see here they stick out the top of these slanted cards, and you can see why they have this overhang on them. I don't know why. I cannot find the proper size. That's the closest I've been able to get. But these can be squished down and they fit properly, but at the same time, yeah, it just leaves the cards sticking up out of the top, which offsets the boards and stuff that lay on top. And as I was making this, I realized it wasn't going to work for me because of those card sleeves. If you don't have card sleeves, then this will work perfectly fine for you. And I do like this little tray here with the removable top to store your bars in, and that fits right behind this. And like I said, there's a spacer tray that goes here, and then the bins fill up the rest of this. And then you fill the bins with your crew members, your aliens, and whatnot. I'm not sure where these cards went in that, but I scrapped the idea for this, and I'm going with an idea that I've used for Dangerous Planet. It is a different designer, and it's a modular system. So because of the way that it wasn't working with the card sleeves I had, I went with a different insert that came out later. And this one, you've got the book and the board here on top. And underneath you can see we've got quite a different setup in here. These larger bins are for the aliens. They have these curved corners which make them easy to get in and out here. You have 2 of those, and it's actually the same one reversed for the other side. And then you have a large one down here for all your crew. Now I do like the smaller compartments where you can actually color code them and separate out your crew a little better, but this one just seemed more convenient overall. Down here we have a inset for the helper cards here. Tell you what the aliens do on one side and the movement patterns for the patrols on the other. Then we have this tray here, and this tray is actually designed to be used with all of the Captain is Dead, not just Lockdown. So you can use this same tray, and I think this tray for all of them. And then, is it this tray maybe? I think, yeah, it might be these three for all, and then this tray, it changes out depending on the insert you use. I'll link down below, and they tell you which ones to use for which games right on the Thingiverse listing. But this tray here, the only thing I might have done different was maybe cap these off and fill it in. Not that it needs it, I mean, it's structurally sound. But I'm always afraid I'm going to drop stuff in there, or made the bottom hollow so it goes all the way through. But you have a spot up here for your bars. These fit perfectly, even my oversized sleeves. And there's a hole in the bottom as well, so you can poke up to get cards out. Because with them sleeved, they fit pretty tight, but you can push up from below and pull the whole thing out. They also have the little thumb notch down there, so you can get underneath the bottom card if they're laying flat. Same goes with this. You have a cutout here where you can get underneath to grab them if you want, or there's a hole, and it fits everything. Sleeved, and these are all your alert cards, the improvised plans, and then all your crew. Everything fits nicely in that one. Again, that goes in there. Then these sit on top. My only real complaint is that there isn't a ledge or lip on this side to hold these. So sometimes when you put them in there, they can fall like that. It's not a big deal. I don't have these sleeved, but there's room. There's wiggle room in there for them to be sleeved. They might sit up just a hair higher than the top of here, so you may have to trim these supports down a little. If you went with sleeves on those, that's totally up to you. But it works for me. And then, like I said, the boards fit on top. Manual on top of that. And everything goes back in the box perfectly with zero lift. And I do store these on the side on my shelf and have no problems with parts or anything dumping. So that's a look at a couple insert ideas for the Captain is Dead Lockdown. Again, there's nothing wrong with the first insert, especially if you don't sleeve your cards, or you can find the proper size sleeves for those smaller cards. That'll work perfectly fine for you, or if you don't mind a little bit of lid lift on there, it's not a big deal. I prefer the first design for having the individual trays to split up your characters and aliens into. However, this one is quicker and easier to print, and it's universal. It'll fit all three games with only a modification of one tray, I think, on each. So take your pick. That gives you a couple of options to use. I've used both and kind of gave you the pros and cons of both. The second one here works for me because of my oversized sleeves, and like I said, it's easier to faster and easier to print. It's just not as customizable. I believe I used the same one, the other variant of it, for the Dangerous Planet video, which will be coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for our look at the 3D printed inserts for the Captain is Dead Lockdown. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.